Welcome back to My Hero Academia Anime Review Episode 143. We're here, 143. That's the episode number we're discuss here. This is episode review number 203. Excuse me about that. 143, Let You Down, which has from chapters 341 to 343. Which this episode does finish up adapting UA Trader. And starts up not technically the current arc, because prior to, I think it was prior to the start of our season, the arc they started just this very episode. This was the current arc they were going on in the manga. This arc wrapped up just a few weeks ago. Yeah, it wrapped after 82 chapters, which means this arc went on for like a year and a half. Yeah, that's long Final War went on for. So here's what happens this episode. Well. Okay, so the first person we see in this episode is, so we have Himiko Toga going to visit a house, which turns out is actually her childhood home, and we see a bit of like here is something from like flashbacks, where people call her vampire because she's got canine, like tiny canines like vampire. In fact, she likes drinking blood. People call her weird, and then as soon as she leaves, there's Dobby, who's like, she's like, what's see much? And the Dobby sees a burned down her house, which she's not mad at the fact basically that he decided to do it. It's just that moment, like, because what about the heroes? Oh, they're too busy to do with the escapees. But he says, but that was nice, and he gives her blood of somebody she deeply cares about. Twice. Yep. And then right after that, we cut to UA Evacuee Center, where it's like a small town now. We see these two individuals, don't know who these two people are, where they're chatting about presumably like the fact they know that Shigaraki's got a week and the heroes know about it, but the public doesn't know about it. And they have a desire to get Deku away from the place. And we see him again a little bit later. Who the heck these two are, don't really know. It's just kind of bizarre. And then we see the heroes do as escapees. They're kind of escapees. They wanted to go back to their dorm room, where you see Kaminari collapse on the floor, and like, how about swapping stories and preparing, like, get ready for bed, and then All Might shows up with, of course, the detective and the principal to discuss something. What this is, we're not going to see in the next episode. Because meanwhile, though, at Villain HQ, which is in a freaking cave, we see Spinner hearing Shigaraki recovering, and of course, then we see, I think it's Skeptic. I think it is, yeah, Skeptic, where he is telling Spinner that he has become an idol. Like, really? Yeah, people worship him because he's a Himorg. Basically, some people were not technically appearance by as human. And here's the thing: he says the public doesn't like these type of people at all. It reminds me of the mutants from the X-Men comics with this particular type of bigotry. He thinks all heroes are like that. They hate that public hates the heroes hate these people. Deku doesn't. He saved one, and that particular person, who we do not know the person's name, maybe we might hear the person's name in the future. Who knows? And then, of course, All Might gets a phone call, wondering about Lyatech or stuff. And he says, oh, hi. Want to try this particular brand of alcohol? 16 years, I'll send my son basically retrieve to you. How about tomorrow? Sounds good to me. It's code words. Because now his parents have contacted, or at least he contacted them. And then we see that Deku is outside. Well, first, of course, that they leave UA. They go to a temporary fortress known as Troy, which is like their old dorm room, but we don't see the interior. We just see Deku in his room, and he jumps out because he sees Ochaku standing on a cliffside. And they finally chat about what happened in the previous season of the show when Ochaku was basically using a megaphone. Yes. An event that I think a lot of people who read the manga and watch the anime probably call it like Ochaku's one of our top 5 moments of the entire series. And thanks for it. He even complimenting her appearance. And of course, basically, like in the manga, she says she wasn't really expecting that. But she feels weird. Not by her appearance. By the stuff she said to Toga. She felt common sense. Can't forgive her. And then later on, Deku sees Ayama in a parking lot with a broken gate. And like they chat for a bit. And like, oh, you've been released? Well. And then like, oh, it's a trap, because basically here's All For One, and he's brought out the League of Villains. And I was like, no, you fell into a trap, because here's a bunch of heroes. Yes. Or, by the way, for the villains, it's like pretty much all the villains are active. For the heroes, get this, it's Fat Gum, Endeavor, I think I saw briefly look like a cameo by Phantom Thief, Sun Eater, Nezri-chan. Like a lot of heroes come right behind Deku to back up. And of course, I've been saying, this is the end of you. And about to begin a big brawl. Which this is the start of the final war between the heroes and the villains. Awesome. And I can't wait for next episode. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do hit this like button. This episode marks like 5 episodes into season 7, which means there's exactly 16 left to go. Next up, basically, is Mushoku Tensei, which is going to be the third and last episode of this season. Okay, see you next video. Bye.